All right, I'm being joined right now by Locked On Sooners podcast host John Williams. John, there's a whole lot going on in Oklahoma right now. Lincoln Riley is taking his talents to the other USC to be the head coach for Southern Cal. Now, with that being said, obviously that means there's a head coaching vacancy at Oklahoma. And apparently the Sooners could possibly be looking at two people that South Carolina sports fans know very well. South Carolina head coach Shane Beamer and Clemson defensive coordinator Brent Venables. What can you tell us about OU's interest in Shane and Brent?
Well, the interest is very real, and I would imagine it's a little bit more real for Brent Venables than maybe for Shane Beamer. Shane Beamer is a beloved figure in Norman. Everybody loves him to a T, players, coaches, fans, media members. He's just one of those guys that he just moves the needle for everybody just because of the person that he is. For me personally, I have a lot of just respect and allure for the guy because my grandfather was a Virginia Tech fan. And so by association, I was also a Virginia Tech fan for some time. And so love the idea of Beamer and Beamer ball. But I just don't imagine he's a guy that is going to spend a year in one place, his first head coaching job, and then just bolt. Even though it is the University of Oklahoma, it's a big time, premier program. I just don't see him as the type of guy to leave after just one season. He seems to really love the South Carolina Gamecocks, the university there, the atmosphere there. Looked like he was having a blast at the end of the season especially when they were winning some big games, and just the whole family just seems to really enjoying it. As far as Brent Venables, an Oklahoma guy through and through. Bob Stoops brought him to Norman whenever Bob got the job back in '99. And was a big part of all the success that Stoops had in his tenure before moving on to Clemson, where he's had even more success, 2 national titles with Dabo Swinney. And I think the rumors are very real. It's just a matter of, are they going to be able to iron out the details and make this happen? He's a guy that's got a ton of respect. Again, like Shane Beamer, players are vouching for him all over social media right now. You look at a guy like Rufus Alexander who played for him, and he's petitioning basically everybody like, hey, we need to make this happen. And it would be a big hire for them. He's had a lot of success. You look at his track record putting guys into the NFL. During his tenure at Clemson, he had 15 top 100 picks into the NFL draft. 8 of those were first rounders. Oklahoma in the same time frame, only 5 top 100 picks and just 1 first rounder on the defensive side of the football. So it would be a big move for Oklahoma to get a guy with the defensive chops that Brent Venables has.
Gotcha. And what about fans in Oklahoma? Who are they really clamoring for? Is it Shane Beamer or is it Brent Venables? Are they like, nah, Brent, that's the guy that we want?
Yeah, I think, both guys would satisfy a lot of the Oklahoma fan base. I mean, there's obviously a lot of disappointment with the way things transpired with Lincoln Riley, but I think everybody's kind of at the acceptance phase of that and are looking to the future. And both of those guys, I think, would move the needle for the fan base because there's just so much respect for what they have accomplished and what they are just as men and as coaches. I mean, Shane, this might be his first head coaching job, but he's coached all over the place with a ton of great names, with Spurrier, with Frank Beamer. I mean, he's just been all over the place. Brent, has a long track record of defensive success and has just seemed primed for a head coaching opportunity for years, just never really took the chance. Who knows if he was just waiting on kind of the top programs to come clamoring for him. And so I think either guy would be a big hire for Oklahoma and would kind of probably pacify a fan base that is looking for a big name at this point.
Gotcha, John. No disrespect to OU, but I'm hoping Shane stays because, yeah, he's a good dude. I like Brent too, and, yeah, it would be great if he stayed too. But you got to understand if a guy decides, hey, I've been number 2 for a while, maybe it's time to be the number 1 and, see what the dollar signs look like there, to entice him. Another thing that's going on in Oklahoma, Spencer Rattler. He's entered the transfer portal. Quarterback. He was a guy who was a Heisman Trophy, candidate at the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden he fell out of the quarterback rotation at OU. What happened to Spencer in 2021?
Well, some of it was Spencer and some of it was just kind of the team around him. The offensive line just didn't play as well as it has in years past. I mean, this wasn't the offensive line that Baker Mayfield or Kyler Murray or Jalen Hurts even had playing for him. These guys were okay. They were good at times. And there were even times where he had time, but just whether it was the defensive game plan that they were using to combat him, or he just wasn't seemingly getting rid of the ball quick enough, making quick enough decisions. There's just a lot of different factors that played into why things didn't really work out, but he's still a very talented quarterback. I mean, the arm talent there is incredibly evident. Even when he came in relief of Caleb Williams at times towards the end of the season, I mean, the ball just flies off of his hand without much effort, and he can get the ball downfield really quickly. He's a talented dude. And I think one day maybe we'll be able to go back and maybe Spencer Rattler can speak on what happened this year, because it just never looked right. And maybe some of it was just the way the whole team looked, because none of it looked right. And now that Lincoln Riley's left, some of it makes a little bit of sense as to why this team never looked right. But some of it was on him, and he would be probably the first to tell you that, but it wasn't completely on him. A lot of the offensive dysfunction, it falls at the quarterback's feet because they're the leader, but it takes 11 guys on the field at the same time to be working in coordination to make an offense function. And we even saw it with Caleb Williams at times. Even though he had big numbers against Texas Tech, against Texas, against TCU, he fell off against Iowa State and Baylor and struggled. And so it's hard to say that everything that was transpiring early in the season was completely on Spencer Rattler. Did he have some struggles? Absolutely, but still a very, very talented player with a very, very bright future.
Gotcha. And speaking of that future, is it a possibility that he decides, hey, you know what, me and Shane, we had a pretty good relationship at OU. I think I want to play for Shane Beamer at South Carolina. What are you hearing about that? Is that a chance? Should Gamecock Nation be excited about possibly Spencer coming to South Carolina?
Yeah, I mean, there's some smoke there, on social media. I think anything's a possibility at this time. It looks like Arizona State is out. I saw a report on that he wasn't all that interested in going to play for the Sun Devils, which would be in his home state. It remains to be seen if he'll follow Lincoln Riley to USC. I kind of doubt that. 2 years in a row, he was benched in Oklahoma's biggest game of the season, the Red River Showdown in Dallas. And I don't know. I don't know if he'd go through that again with Lincoln Riley or not. And I think Shane Beamer, I mean, again, like I said earlier, he's a guy that everybody loves. And if Shane were to reach out, SC needs a quarterback, and Spencer Rattler is looking to rebuild some draft stock, get into the SEC, go to a program that is on the rise. Maybe that helps you rebuild your draft stock and make a little bit of noise in the SEC East.
Sure. All right. It's John Williams with the Locked On Sooners podcast. John, thanks so much for joining me. If people want to tune in to the podcast, how can they listen to it?
Yeah, so we're free and available on every podcast platform. You can also check it out on YouTube, Locked On Sooners. On Twitter, you can follow me at John9Williams, and the show is at Locked On Sooners.